Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Daily Dose of Good News. I'm Cyrus Webb. So glad you guys could be with us. It is Friday, December the 5th. Have a great episode for you guys. If you've been watching us, you know that one of the things you've seen in the background of all of our conversations we had on Wednesday, October the 29th, when I broke the Guinness World Record for most TV interviews, was this painting. It was not done by me. It was done by Mississippi artist Chuck Jett. And today, you guys get to watch our conversation together. I had a chance to interview Chuck before the Guinness World Record event. Had a great conversation with him, and I'm breaking some news today. He's actually going to be featured in an upcoming issue of Mississippi Success magazine that's going to be coming out this month. Hope you guys enjoyed today my conversation with artist Chuck Jett. It's been great watching you over the years. That's really an understatement. I started the question off with that. But when did Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. There you go. I appreciate that. When did things start to really take off for you as an artist?
Don't know. I've always been creative, always pushing myself into doing more creative stuff. Uh, it ebbs and flows. I had a run in the late '90s with pencil portraits that did well for a while, and I got back into more public offerings with acrylic portraits on canvas, and it's been taking off pretty well.
Yeah,
it's interesting. When my marketing shifted from galleries and such like that, more direct to people, and even more so direct to working class folks that may not be exposed to a lot of art, may not visit a lot of galleries. Just walk into a flea market and bam, there's a guy painting portraits. It's a juxtaposition I like to have fun with.
Well, my mom is actually watching on Facebook, Chuck. So I'm going to bring it closer. She's seen it already, but I want to hear everyone, if you have not seen it, Chuck, this is what Chuck surprised me with. You all can see there. So, Chuck, my next question for you, because again, it's like everyone else, I have a question for Chuck. You have been creative with your work. Is that just part of the process for you, using whatever you want to create on? And what I mean by that is, Chuck is one of those artists that paints on everything. And so,
if I get paint to stick to it, I'll paint on it.
So is that something you've always been interested in doing and willing to do?
Definitely. I like to upcycle a lot. Like my day job at Rainbow Signs in Jackson, Mississippi, got to get that plug in.
Yeah.
As a designer, we have scrap. We remove signs as well as create and install signs. And I'll keep things of certain shapes and stuff that catch my eye, and I'll upcycle those into artwork as well. And just, like I said, if I can get paint to stick to it, I'll paint it. Paint on skateboard decks, whatever, rusty car doors.
And that leads me to this question, Chuck, because it's something, again, it's all artists. And art is something that comes in many forms. We've had recording artists here. We've had authors. We've had actors here today already. What I love about your art is that it is universal. So what normally inspires you? I normally ask authors that, but as an artist, where do you find inspiration?
It's the same as anyone else. Like I like horror and science fiction. So you'll see a lot of slant, little video game artwork popping up, some fan art. It happens. But what I like about commissions and such is people force me to look at something that I might not normally be inspired by. It's like, paint a portrait of my grandfather and his prize heifer, whatever. Like, well, okay, then I've got to find a creative way to make that work. And you got to approach each project as whatever project you're on is the most important thing in the world at that moment.
Right. Such a great, and I think I love that. And I think too, that's one of the great things about art. And as I mentioned, you did the painting of me. How long does something like that normally take?
10 to 12 hours usually of actual paint time. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, One Wall Gallery MS, all filled out. Another shameless plug.
No, go ahead.
I post a lot of progression reels, and what I've noticed recently is there's a lot of photos of me starting on the canvas and drawing it out and starting to begin painting, and bam, we're at like 75% complete because I get in that zone. I'm not thinking about taking the photos. So I got to work on that a little bit.
Yeah. When you're so into the work, it's hard. Sometimes you have to think about, I mean, I've gotten into a flow doing this, but you're right. When you get so into what you're doing, it really definitely makes a difference. So this next question, your question number 5, Chuck, is this. What has been your biggest artistic challenge? We all have challenges, but what has been your biggest artistic challenge?
You know, I guess I can go real basic with that. It's just on technique and materials and stuff. I used to hate watercolor. In high school and around that age, I hated watercolor. Why? Because I used cheap watercolor paper. And watercolor is all about the paper. And once I figured that out later, you know, in college and all, like, whoa, watercolor is amazing. You know, that was probably a big hurdle. You know, sometimes it's as simple as the medium you're used to or not used to, making things work.
That is so true. That is such a great. I found that with food too. I used to think I didn't like certain food. Then I realized I just didn't like the person cooking that food. When I had someone else, I realized I really did like it. So your bonus question, Chuck, is this, and thank you again for doing this for us. Has it become more respected to be an artist today? I was curious in that question.
I don't think it was ever disrespected in American society. I think it's a huge stereotype of what an artist is supposed to look like and behave like and do. And if you haven't been to prison, you can't be an artist. But you know, it's all. I mean, everybody is a creator of some sort. There's authors, artists, musicians, everywhere you look in this state, anyhow.
Yeah, such a great thing. Chuck, thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. Again, everyone, Chuck Jett has been our guest. Let's give him a hand, please, if you don't mind. Such a great conversation with Chuck. And what I love about Chuck is not only his passion for art, but also his passion for sharing his art and being able to make his customers and clients happy. As you mentioned, when he's doing commission pieces, being able to bring their vision to life as well, but using his skills to do so. Make sure you guys are staying connected with Chuck as well. Chuck, thank you again for this beautiful painting. I really do appreciate it. And we thank you for watching this episode of Daily Dose of Good News. And if you've missed any of our shows this week or since the show began, don't worry. You can go to our YouTube playlist at dailydoseofgoodnews.com. That's dailydoseofgoodnews.com. We'll be back with you guys on Monday of next week. Until then, make sure you guys continue to be a source of good news for others and helping them know how the world can shine. Have a great one. We'll talk soon.